Project C, Peace and Animals. Explanation of the central circle, the symbol of freedom and peace. Considering the Statue of Liberty, this point is very attention-grabbing, that the symbol of friendship between France and the United States was made 130 years ago, with the support of the French government and the passion of the French artists, based on a very minute cooperation. The ones with the smallest experience in the artistic works cannot ignore this vigorous action. 1. Adoration has been always a key to solve the humanity's problem, and the friendship among them. However, these are the animals that overtake sometimes the human beings, and mentions to us that although we are not developed as you, but we never ignore our mutual rights and our children. 2. A great man had said, until the time that the business, buying and selling logs, are the issue for the humanity, no one can expect for a prospect of real peace and security in the world. This is the reality that till the time that the people even feel the necessity of locking their properties, the suitable background for the peace has not yet completely prepared. So everybody of us must endeavor devotedly to prepare the vital conditions that are required for the peace. 3. Pacific coexistence of the animals. Even the weak animals feel secure in front of the strong ones. In a global full-scale peace, it is the salutary experience for animals' kingdom, for the humanitarian beings, for the human beings, that the animals hunt not for the greed, but for providing their food, and they never go beyond their limits in creation circle. 4. Olympics and Paralympics and peace. The representatives of the countries compete against each other and compare each other's strengths in a creative and friendly atmosphere, far from the fanaticism and the political disagreements. These activities are indeed the pride for the humanity. 5. We hope to see a day in which using a weapon become a tales from a history, and what that has been produced approximates the bear's nest instead of something to frighten. We have this meaning in the Babylon, which someday saw change into the plowshares. 6. The role of small and weak creatures in the world of real and stable peace, and the guidance of humans to the world instead of what they do against the nature, the weak beings, and the earth to damage them. 7. The end of terrorism and dictatorship. A great man had said, large-sized stones are kept stable by smaller pieces of one. So, if the dictatorship, extremism, and terrorism have emerged and expanded in the world, this is due to the existence of small supporters, and increase and the gathering of them have caused some consider themselves superior to others. Therefore, in order to eliminate the roots of dictatorship, extremism, and terror, it must be concentrated to a spirit of soul of those who have the internal background of following the others slavishly, and try to channel them into independence, reflection, and following their logic. In this artistic sample, it is shown an exemplary symbol of Al-Qaeda and Daesh members that is reflecting deeply about the failure and the termination of terrorism, fanaticism, and dictatorship. The beautiful poem of Sadi is pointed towards such way of thinking. If you have no sympathy for human pain, the name of human you cannot retain. 8. Mother. This is a title that nothing can be equal to it. In the entire world, the model of mother's love and devotion cannot be assessed by any measure and scale. If the human beings wish for peace, they should love like a mother, their fellow man, and even the animals. Conclusion. My friends, for everybody and everywhere, our destinies are tied together. every act in order to reach the human transcendent wishes, or on the contrary to incite the human society, will affect directly and instantly to all responsible or non-responsible person, and even innocent children, animal, and the environment, positively or negatively. This is because the human society is like an immense boat in which all the parts are connected together, and as this boat moves forwards and locks the giant ocean of human problems and difficulties, any disorder and turmoil in one small part will endanger all other parts of the boat and will cause the risk of wreck. So, we must not be indifferent to disregarding of human rights and inhuman wrongdoings and ignoring the resolution made by the United Nations and the humanitarian organization by anyone, any group, or any thought. We must look at the human collective wisdom and decision as a divine guideline and must recognize it obligatory. All the human societies and the divine messengers have emphasized the importance of following the collective wisdom for reaching the human welfare. All of us know well that the balance, peace, and security is not easy to reach, and we have to pay a lot of cost extending and stabilizing this blessing. It is not possible that a person, a group, or a thought, a country wanting to cooperate with the different societies and the world does whatever it wants inside itself, or ignore the international society and the wise decision made by it, and only feels the pressure and the threats, decides to appeal the international organization and to claim its rights. During the history, the name of the best and the worst person have remained and served as lesson to human beings. It is up to us who we want to be. We don't have to forget that as we seek to stabilize and extend peace, freedom and democracy, we have to try and to pay more at the same time for eliminating the roots of fanaticism, extremism, dictatorship, mental or physical slavery, and cultural poverty. In this way, in my opinion, the only way to reach the permanent peace is to reinforce the United Nations and all the other foundations and institutions which are supporters for the peace and stable and subjects relevant to it. They have to make all the different strata, including artists, scientists, economists, politicians, writers, and poets, and in one word, all who live on earth, to take part actively in these efforts and to feel responsible for the peace. The guarantee for accomplishing this goal and enjoying the security and peace in the time being and in the future is to feel collective sensitive responsibility. It is worth mentioning that the indifference to this responsibility will damage all the human irreparably. We hope to be witness of a day in which the humanity seeks for removing its fellow man suffers, but cannot find anything. As that day, justice, democracy, peace, friendship, and wisdom have been expanded through all the globe by the efforts of all human beings.